I don't know if it's the San Francisco vibe that gets everyone so excited here, but the last couple of days, I just met a few exceptional people. And amongst them, I met a lot of great developers. And I started to ask myself the question, what makes a developer great? Why do we work crazy hours? Why do we search for solutions till our head hurts? Why do we solve problems, not once, twice? No, we solve them again and again in search of a better way. Is it because we prefer to spend hours alone in front of the computer rather than talking with people? Are we some kind of antisocial creature that prefers to talk to a machine over human interaction? Do we seek to define right, wrong, ones and zeros? Or is there more to the whole thing? To me, developing software is actually a really shared and social experience. You put yourself into the other person's shoes and you try to see the world from their point of view. You're passionate about solving problems, and not the easy way, not the comfortable way, but instead you find a way that doesn't just make sense to the computer, but to the other person as well. To build good software, you have to be a good listener, a good translator. You have to go from, I want this thing to do everything possible, you have to go to an actual, tangible product. You have to anticipate and connect with the user on a very personal basis to really understand what's going on. To me, a great developer has a deep inner passion for making other people's lives better and more connected. And we love solving problems. We want to create awesome solutions that makes stuff simpler and easier and intuitive as well. Now, if that's the kind of skill set that's needed for the job, that's needed to be a good developer, how come our tools don't align with these characteristics? Why do they make us feel left isolated and alone? Where's the shared experience, the human connection that supports you in doing things together? None of us want to spend their time repeating the same steps over and over and over, downloading hundreds of megabytes just to be welcomed by some cryptic screen, then take a step back to the website, request some kind of API key, wait till that arrives, you keep checking your email, refresh that, you go through a bunch of other setup screens, and then maybe finally at some point you can get started coding. There must be a better way to do this. Something that lets us focus on what we really want to do and that lets us break out of that disconnected, lonely little box that slows us all down and keeps us from working together on a problem. So I think all of you out there already know the value of such a connected experience. I believe this is actually why many of you became Salesforce developers. And it's what brought you into this whole no software thing in the first place. You committed your career to something which many people told you is absolutely crazy. Enterprise software in the cloud? What? But guess what? I think you were right. Putting software in the cloud and making it easily accessible with focus on doing things, not on setup, not on installation, not on maintenance, that's the way to go. These things just make sense. And Salesforce pioneered this approach, and they paved the way, and so thanks to you, companies are considering cloud software as a serious option when looking for ways to run their business now. It turns out, though, that building software for the cloud is not easy. It's actually a very, very hard thing to do. And in terms of developer tools, you can't just take a text editor, stick it into the browser, and call it an IDE. That won't cut it, and it's you need a lot more than just that. So at Cloud9, we invested the past 5 years and worked through 3 major rewrites to get to a point where we're proud to call our product an actual cloud IDE that brings a full feature set to the browser and that matches user expectations. We did things like shaving down latency to a minimum so everything is fast and responsive, and it made Cloud9 a mature and complete development environment that works in over 100 programming languages. It allows you to share projects with other people, and you can program together using multiple cursors right on the same screen. It's customizable, you can make it fit your own personal taste, you can change the color, layout, anything you really want to do. Now, we're really driven by the idea that there's a big power in the cloud to unlock people's potential, and when Salesforce approached us to build a custom version of Cloud9, tailored to the needs of you guys, tailored to the needs of their community, we could not have been more excited about that. What we built for you is the product of a collaborative development process between us and the pioneers of enterprise cloud software. So I wanted to walk you through some of the amazing functionality that we built. And let's start with Apex here, the most powerful language that's available on the platform. Cloud9 comes with great support for Apex. We have code analysis, which helps you write better code overall. It gives you high-level overviews and local error detection for your Apex code. We built in features like auto-suggest, which lets you tap complete words as you type. You can also use the built-in documentation in context. Right when you're coding, you're seeing the documentation for the methods in your classes. And then we have navigation, which makes it easy with outline and quick search and keyboard-centric shortcuts to jump between your different classes and manage your project this way. Visualforce. We have macros, we have snippets that let you write more code while you're actually typing much less. There's smart tag prediction and completion for your XML code, for the attributes. We even look inside expressions that you write in Visualforce, and we make smart predictions for your functions and classes that you might want to call. We have a feature called Live Preview, which lets you split your development windows in half, and then you have one side on the left with your code, and on the right side you have the rendered page, or you can have it on the bottom or on the top. As I said, the system is extremely customizable. Anytime you make a change to your code, you will see the live preview updating and giving you instant visibility to how these changes that you just made look like. It's almost switching forth and back between windows just to see your output, and it really helps to tie the cause and effect much more closely together. And then third, something that I'm personally very excited about, Cloud9 launches with built-in support for the new Lightning experience, which makes developing bundles and components really a first-class experience. There's no simpler way to create beautiful and interactive applications that look modern and that look easy and that are easy to write. And we're already geared up for version 35, Winter 16, which is now just in pre-release, so we're way ahead of the game here. And you can use Cloud9 if you just want to test the next version of Salesforce already. Now, I don't know if you guys are seasoned Lightning experts because you've been using it since last year, or if you just heard about it this year here at Dreamforce, but Cloud9 is definitely the best way to write Lightning and to dive into this new technology. So I really urge you to give this a try if you want to work with Lightning. Now, to show you a bit more of this, we're going to do a live demo for you. Just going to switch over here. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to use that screen down here, which will make it a bit difficult. We're going to build a Lightning application, and this is all live, connected to our production system, so there's no pre-recorded videos or anything. This is the real deal. The first thing I do is I need to get my Salesforce account connected to my Cloud9 environment. So I just go to c9.io/off/Salesforce. And it's asking me which edition do I want to use. Do I want to use the production, which is developer edition, sandbox, pre-release, or if you're using custom domains, no problem, you can link these two. I have a developer edition account, so I select this, I connect it, and the only thing I really need to do here is enter my username and password once, and connect it. You authorize Cloud9 to connect to your Salesforce environment, and you'll see it's as easy as that. That is the only step that you need to take in order to get started with Cloud9. No installation, no downloading, no waiting. Any one of you can get started right away with that. Okay, so we should be good. What we're seeing now is that on the left side, Cloud9 has synchronized your code from the Salesforce environment, and all your metadata objects are represented as files. We have Lightning, we have Apex, classes, and tests, and we also have your Visualforce pages. And then in addition to that, you can sync metadata like custom objects and so on, and we're adding to the list of supported types as well. So let's build a Lightning app. Let's create a new bundle here. I'm just going to go in and say a new folder. I'm going to call it df15. And the first thing it's going to ask me is, what kind of bundle are you creating? Are you creating an application? Are you creating a component, event, or interface? In this case here, I'm creating an application. So I just double click on that and I can start typing, and you already see the auto-completion that I mentioned. Cloud9 immediately offers you possible text that you might want to use here without having to type anything. It links into the documentation. You just need to click on it, and you also see all the attributes and other completions available for this Lightning tag. So I'm going to use this here. Another productivity feature and something that makes it really wonderful to use Cloud9 are snippets. So I have a few custom snippets defined here for the demo, and I can just type my shortcuts, and it offers me the snippets I have. So I'm inserting a link to the new Salesforce Lightning design system, and by just typing 2 letters and hitting the Enter key, it inserted all this HTML code for me. I was going to add some text. Hello, Dreamforce. Now I save this, and you can see now that on the left, the application has identified that we're building an application. So it's changed the list of available definitions to the ones that are available for Lightning apps. And it's also saving it in the background. That's all good, but you might ask yourself, okay, how does the result of that actually look like? Now, since we are on the browser, we can make the most of that platform, and we've integrated the live preview right in the same window here, so I can just click preview, live preview, and like I said, it's splitting the window now, and it loads your new Lightning application right next to your code, right? And now we can make changes on the left here. For example, make this whole thing look a little bit nicer. spacing doesn't look very good to me, so I just open the CSS file for that application. I say this Salesforce Lightning design system, and I'm going to add some padding here to give it some more space. Now I just save that, and within seconds that new file gets uploaded as well. It is stored on your environment, and you can refresh the preview, and it already looks a little bit better. So you can imagine it's a really great way to use graphics in your application, to style it a way that you think looks great, and it's all very hands-on, very easy to use. I still think this looks a little bit boring, so we're going to add some more stuff. I want to replace this part here with another piece of code I've prepared. And then for good measure, we're just going to add a third one. So I save that. And refresh. And you can see where this is going. We've already just in seconds built a functional, good-looking Lightning application, and everything in the cloud, and no setup necessary at all. Now let's have a look at another application that I've already been working on before. It's literally called another app. Just going to drag this over. You totally can customize the layout. So if you want to split windows, top, bottom, you just drag it. And Cloud9 remembers all these things, so the next time you open your IDE, it looks the way that you expect it to and that you find is most productive for your workflow. Okay, so of course we have live preview as well. I can just open that one up too. Oh. Okay, so it looks like we have a problem with this application. Let's have a look at the controller for that Lightning app. I'll drag this down here, make some room. Okay, to do, remove this before the Dreamforce 15 demo. Nikolai. Where's Nikolai? No, Nikolai! You broke the demo. Okay, so Nikolai Onken just came online. He's now collaborating live. He's actually right over there. You see the guy hunched over his laptop? He's trying hard to fix the live demo right now. Let's talk to him. We just, how's the demo going? Well, actually just ran into a bug live on stage here, so. A bug, you get the idea. So, Nikolai, can you help me fix the bug, considering that you seem to have put it in and even commented that it should be removed? Let me check this. Okay, perfect. Now you see Nikolai with his cursor right in the same document, and hi there. He's jumping around. It's like, okay, that looks better. Just comment it out for now. I think it's good. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to save the changes that he made. And again, this is all running live. So just going to save this now. Say thank you. Bye-bye. And then we can close this again. And so now the expectation is that once we fix this and we go again into live preview, the error message should be gone, and bam, here we go. As simple as that. All right, that's cool, right? So a lot of you are probably working in Apex. We also have great support for Apex, fantastic auto-completion, and everything's indexed. You can use navigation tools to very easily jump through your code. You also have a SOQL query console down here, so if you want to do a select ID from user or something, you don't need to log into any other system. You can do that from in the IDE as well. You have an execute anonymous, so if you have a little code snippet that you want to test, again, right from inside your IDE environment, all in the browser, no installation. And last but not least, I wanted to quickly touch on the fact that this whole thing not only is in the cloud and you have all this amazing functionality, you also run on a full-featured Ubuntu Linux workspace. So any build scripts that you have, any commands that you're typically using to work with your source code, they run right from inside this environment, and it works with your Salesforce code, which is pretty amazing in itself. You can use Git, you can use Subversion or any other version control system that you can run on the terminal here, and it's all integrated. Bang. Okay. So, great Apex support, Visualforce, and the new Lightning experience. Everything ready for you today, Cloud9. Let's take a minute to talk about testing. Because one essential part of writing Salesforce applications are unit tests. Unit tests are the foundation for the excellent platform stability and for the compatibility that you have on Salesforce. And so naturally, we wanted to make it as easy as possible to write and run your test cases from right inside the IDE as well. So what we built allows you to see your test errors and code coverage information in each file with just a few clicks, and it's right in line with your source code. Test Runner is a preview feature, and we're giving early access to it, launching it at Dreamforce. You can enable it in your settings and then try it out. I'm going to show it to you on stage right now, and you can give it a shot for yourself. So back in the browser, just going to clean this up a little bit. So you go in your settings, and then down here you have experimental, where you just enable the test panel. You reload, so that the IDE knows you want to use the preview feature. And you get this little test button down here. So you can see now that the IDE has found all of your Apex test cases. You can run them by just clicking the Run Tests. It's going to step through them. We're going to make this more parallel and faster even in a future release. But you get updated very quickly as it's running through it. And we already have one test error, so we want to see, okay, which test failed and what's the problem here. I can just double-click the name of the failed test method and then scroll in here a little bit down, and I see, okay, this line failed, we have a REST exception. Bam. I just click on that, and it expands the details of the exception. I get a full trace back, and the coolest thing is I can click on any of these, and it takes me right to the line where that happened. So it's incredibly easy to fix your tests, not just to run them and to write them. And it's a really intuitive and quick to use experience. You see the red lines are currently highlighted. These are lines that are not covered by tests. We're also going to add green lines and your code coverage information into Cloud9. Okay. What I like a lot about Test Runner is that this is actually the result of your community feedback. During the alpha, one of the first questions we had is like, how can I run my tests? Tests are essential. So we learned from this, and we listened to this, and we built this for you. And this is really the way that we think software developer tools need to be done. It's something that I would like to get everyone here very much involved into. So if you're trying out Cloud9 and you have any feedback, please send it our way. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think about Test Runner and about the rest of our features. So to sum this up, being a great developer means to solve problems together, to explore things, to engage, connect, and you're part of a creative process there. In the end, we're building stuff that makes it better for everyone, not just the developer, also the user. What we've shown you today is really our interpretation of how a possible solution for your problems could look like. It's really just a start. It's a version 1.0. And like I said, we depend very much on your feedback. And it drives us. It's what makes it a great shared effort. So I'd like to invite you to go to Cloud9, c9.io, and to try this out yourself. Please let us know what you think and be a part of bringing Salesforce development into the next era. We also have a booth down there next to the Inspiration Theater, and we're giving away a free Chromebook to one of you guys, the lucky winner. So please stop by. It's going to happen at 4 o'clock, I believe. Make sure you don't miss that. And then, well, thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the post-desktop era, and let's get this party started.